world. So today we're going to be talking about picking your next perfect pen. So just to keep in mind, the cost of your pen is something to consider. You shouldn't go broke buying an awesome pen. That's just not what you spend your money on if you can't afford it. Another thing is accessibility. Some pens may not be accessible to you depending on where you live, because some pens may not ship to your country, or some websites may not ship to your country, so it may be harder to find a pen for you. So I thought I would also talk about picking a pencil. So the two options are wooden pencils and mechanical pencils. Wooden pencils are easier to shade with, but they aren't as precise as mechanical pencils, as they do get duller, but they are generally cheaper than mechanical pencils. Although if you get a Bic mechanical pencils, those are really cheap. If you get like a really nice fancy mechanical pencil, there are more options, but they are just going to be a bit more pricey. Mechanical pencils are more environmentally friendly because you can refill them with pencil lead, and they are made out of plastic, but plastic is bad, but you can reuse it again and again, whereas a wooden pencil you have to get rid of once it gets too short. Pencils are also erasable and are required for certain tasks or certain tasks that you will have to do, so it's always good to keep a number 2 pencil with you at all times. Although picking a lead grade is also something to consider if you are an artist, because different lead grades have different darknesses. So regarding your pen choice, the first pen is a fine liner pen. These are pretty much really thin markers that you could use as pens, and fine liners are great because they come in a large variety of colors and they use marker ink if that is something that you like. However, just make sure that you are using a thicker paper, because fine liners are definitely more likely to bleed through your paper because they are marker ink. So we have the fountain pen. Fountain pens are known for their large variety of ink colors, as they use bottled ink, so that is definitely a plus with fountain pens, as well as the large variety of nibs that are available with fountain pens. Fountain pens are also more durable than your average pen and are made to last a long time, so they are more environmentally friendly. But things to look out for is that you need to use really good paper with fountain pens, because if the paper is bad quality, it will make your ink smear or just look really bad, and the ink could bleed through. So using paper, like the type of paper that you use, is really important when you pick a fountain pen. And then another thing is that they are really expensive. Obviously there are cheaper options available, but in general, fountain pens are going to be a bit of an investment when you first buy them. And then the last thing is that fountain pens are higher maintenance, because you have to make sure that they are clean every time you switch colors, and just clean them regularly so that ink doesn't dry up and clog the fountain pen. Now for the gel pen. Gel pens are my personal favorite pen because they come in a very large variety of colors, and their ink is very smooth, and they are not as expensive as the other options. There are a few very expensive gel pens out there, but generally they aren't too expensive, and you can still get high quality pens, and the ink is very smooth and is very bold, and it comes in a large variety of colors. But one thing to make sure is that you are not getting pens that don't dry too slowly, because some of them are very susceptible to smearing. But other than that, I really enjoy gel pens. So the next pen is a rollerball pen. These pens are really smooth, really nice, and I really like them too, but they can also be a little bit pricey, but there are cheaper options available for rollerball pens as well. One thing to watch out for is that they use liquid ink, which is why they are so smooth, but also why they are more likely to bleed through and smear, just like a fountain pen. And there are some refillable options available for rollerball pens. The next pen is a ballpoint pen. Ballpoint pens are famous for being able to write anywhere on anything, because they have really high viscosity ink that is just able to write on wet paper, etc., etc., especially if you buy a pressurized ballpoint pen. Ballpoint pens are generally not as smooth as the other options, although there are a few really smooth ballpoint pens out there. They aren't necessarily as bold either. Obviously, there are better options than others in that category as well, but they are good just as an overall pen if you need just a pen to write something down quickly. So another thing to consider is the thickness of the pen. Thicker pens are better for rounder and bigger handwriting, and thinner pens are better for smaller and sharper handwriting. The final thing is the body of the pen, and 3 factors are the shape, size, and grip. And all of these are going to make your pen more or less ergonomic, and this is going to affect the neatness of your handwriting. That's all. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, smash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell, and if you have any tips, let me know in the comments below. And for a video on handwriting, check the description box below, and remember to have a happy Monday. Bye bye!